Stop everything. Hold on to your seats, folks, because we have a scandal that's hotter than anything reality TV has ever seen. You thought you knew drama, the betrayals, the backstabbing, but this? Oh, this is next level. The two kings of love and hip-hop, Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris, have been blacklisted from reality TV. And trust me, you won't believe the jaw-dropping reason behind it. What could possibly bring down these reality TV royals? Was it a wild scandal? A career-ending mistake? Or something darker and more explosive than we've been led to believe? Sources are spilling tea so hot, it's almost too much to handle. There's a shocking twist in this saga that no one saw coming. Imagine this. After years of being at the center of love and hip-hop's most unforgettable moments, from cheating rumors to family feuds, Kirk and Mendeecees have now become the biggest outcasts in reality TV history.
But why?
Why would a show that built its empire off their drama suddenly turn its back on them? What happened behind the scenes that led to their shocking downfall? Stay with me, because this scandal is deeper, darker, and more scandalous than you could ever imagine. They were untouchable. Until now. You thought Kirk and Mendeecees were untouchable, right? That they'd survive any scandal thrown their way? Well, think again. After years of being at the heart of love and hip-hop's drama, these two are now facing the biggest crisis of their careers, and it's all about to come crashing down in front of their eyes. But how did it happen? How did two of reality TV's most iconic figures end up blacklisted from the entire industry? Let's break it all down. The rise and fall of Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris. Kirk Frost, once a fan favorite, a bad boy turned family man, has been a central figure on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta since day one. Scandals? Affairs? Cheating rumors? A baby mama drama that shook the entire show? He survived it all. No matter how deep the controversy, Kirk always found a way to return to the spotlight, captivating fans with his unpredictable behavior. Then, there's Mendeecees Harris, the man who made prison time look like just another chapter in his redemption story. He built his legacy not just on love and hip-hop, but as a heartthrob with a journey that kept fans glued to their screens. His marriage to Yandy Smith, his legal battles, and his family drama were staples of the show. Together, these two were the power players of love and hip-hop, the guys fans loved to hate. But then, everything changed. The beginning of the end. Sources close to the show reveal that it all started with whispers behind the scenes. The relationship between Kirk and Mendeecees had been strained for some time, and finally, it reached a boiling point. Producers, always on the lookout for drama, saw an opportunity. But what they didn't expect was the explosion that followed. It all came to a head at a love and hip-hop afterparty, an event meant to be a casual wind-down before the big reunion show. But behind closed doors, the drama didn't just stay between Kirk and Mendeecees. It turned into a full-blown altercation that would change everything. The fight that shook reality TV. Multiple sources confirmed that Kirk and Mendeecees weren't getting along. There were rumors of trash talk behind the scenes. Allegedly, Mendeecees had been saying that Kirk was nothing but a washed-up husband who only stayed relevant because of Rashida's success. That did not sit well with Kirk. For a man who had spent years building his own legacy, this was the ultimate insult. And he wasn't about to let it slide. Tensions were high. A few heated words were exchanged. Then things got physical. In front of producers, crew members, and other castmates, Kirk shoved Mendeecees so hard that he stumbled backward into a chair. And then the punches started flying. Chaos. Fists flying. Chairs crashing to the ground. Broken glass everywhere. Security rushed in to break up the fight, but it was too late. The damage was done, not just physically, but professionally. What was supposed to be a quiet after-party had turned into the biggest scandal of the year. The fallout. Of course, someone pulled out their phone the moment the fight started. And just like that, within minutes, clips of the fight spread like wildfire across social media. Fans were in shock. This was unlike anything love and hip-hop had ever seen. The internet exploded. Some fans sided with Kirk, saying Mendeecees had no business disrespecting a love and hip-hop OG. Others defended Mendeecees, arguing that Kirk had been the real aggressor. But no matter whose side you were on, one thing was clear. No one was prepared for what came next, because that's where things took a dark turn. Behind the scenes, Love and hip-hop producers made a decision that shocked everyone. Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris were officially blacklisted from reality TV.
But why?
What happened in the aftermath of the fight? And how did this one altercation end the careers of two of reality TV's biggest stars? Stay tuned, because this scandal is far from over. The aftermath, a reality TV nightmare. Producers and executives were in full panic mode. This wasn't just a typical on-set fight. This was bigger, something that could destroy the entire Love and hip-hop brand. The fight was too violent, too intense, and too damaging to simply sweep under the rug like past altercations. And the worst part? It had all been caught on camera. An emergency meeting was called, and by the end of the night, the verdict was crystal clear. Police car light Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris were done. Police car light fired. Blacklisted. Erased from the show. And it wasn't just about the fight anymore. The producers knew they were dealing with something far more dangerous. Legal threats. Could lawsuits follow? Fan backlash. Would viewers turn against the franchise? Brand damage. Could the reputation of Love and hip-hop survive this scandal? No one was willing to take that risk. In a shocking move that stunned the industry, both Kirk and Mendeecees were banned from future tapings. No warnings. No second chances. Just a cold, hard dismissal. But was it really over for them?
Power. Ego.
Respect. This wasn't just about a fight. This was about power, ego, and respect. Kirk Frost, the self-proclaimed king of Love and hip-hop, wasn't going to let this slide without a fight. And Mendeecees? He was determined to prove that the show needed him just as much as he needed it. But was it too late? Had the damage already been done? The reality TV world was shaken to its core, and fans couldn't stop talking about it. The infamous fight at the after-show taping didn't just leave broken chairs and shattered glass. It completely shattered the carefully crafted images of these two reality TV icons. But while the fans were still processing the chaos, the real battle was just beginning. Inside the crisis, a network in chaos. It didn't take long for Love and hip-hop executives to realize the severity of the situation. This wasn't just another fight between cast members. This was a full-blown scandal that could make or break the entire franchise. Executives scrambled. How could they fix this? How could they spin the story to save their brand from imploding? The problem wasn't just that Kirk and Mendeecees had caused a scene. The problem was that they had caused a scene that was too raw, too dangerous, and too real to be ignored. The internet erupts. The fight had gone viral almost instantly. Mobile phone with arrow clips flooded social media. Fans were divided. Fire the controversy was unstoppable. Some sided with Kirk, insisting that he had every right to defend his legacy. Others defended Mendeecees, arguing that he was just standing up for himself. But one thing was clear. Police Garlight this fight had gone way beyond what Love and hip-hop could ever air for entertainment. A breaking point for reality TV. An anonymous source from the production team put it best. "We've had fights on set before, sure, but this was different. This was real. And it was dangerous. Fans love drama, but this wasn't the kind of drama we could just sweep under the rug. This was career-ending stuff. And it wasn't just about the fight, it was about what came next. Legal threats were now at the forefront. Concerns over lawsuits, damages, and investigations were growing. Could the production company be held responsible for letting this happen? Love and hip-hop had always thrived on chaos, but this time, the line had been crossed. And no one at the network was willing to risk it. The decision was made. Prohibited Kirk and Mendeecees were out. Prohibited no more appearances. Prohibited no more cameras following their every move. Prohibited no more storylines. They were erased from the show. But while Love and hip-hop tried to move on, Kirk and Mendeecees weren't about to go down quietly. This ain't real. It can't be happening. The next morning, Kirk paced back and forth in his living room, stunned by the news. "This ain't real. This can't be happening," he reportedly muttered to Rashida, his wife. "I've been with Love and hip-hop since the beginning. I built this show. They need me." But Rashida, ever the calm voice of reason, had seen this coming. Kirk, you crossed the line. You put your hands on him. And now it's out. There's no going back from this. But Kirk wasn't hearing it. To him, this wasn't just about a fight. This was about his legacy. For years, his name had been synonymous with the show. Now, they were tossing him aside like he was nothing. They can't just do this. They owe me. They can't just erase my history like that. Mendeecees, this is some bull star. Across the country, Mendeecees was having his own meltdown. Sitting in his living room with Yandy, he had just received the same call. His body tensed up immediately. Nah, this is some bulls. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. I've been through too much to let this be the end. They need me on this show. I made it what it is. But Yandy, always the rational one, wasn't convinced. Mendeecees, you've been on the show for years. They've made their decision. It's over. We have to think about what's next. Her words stung. Mendeecees had always thought of himself as essential to the show. Now, he was just another name in the reality TV graveyard. But even as anger and frustration boiled over, both Kirk and Mendeecees knew one thing for sure. Police Starlight, they weren't going to let this happen without a fight. Collision. So, was this really the end for Kirk and Mendeecees? Or were they about to flip the script and rewrite their reality TV fate? Link, stay tuned, because this scandal is far from over. The battle begins. Kirk and Mendeecees refuse to back down. Within hours of receiving the news, both men had their lawyers on the phone. Police Starlight, they weren't going to accept this dismissal. Police Starlight, they were going to fight it. Mendeecees was furious. He felt betrayed by the very show that had given him fame and fortune. This isn't just about a fight, he reportedly told his lawyer. This is about respect. This is about my legacy. They can't just push me aside like this. Kirk, on the other hand, was thinking bigger. His entire brand was at stake. His empire was on the line. If they think I'm just going to disappear, they've got another thing coming, he told a friend. I built my name, and I'm not going to let them erase me from reality TV history. But as the days went by, one thing became painfully clear. This fight wasn't going to be easy. The industry turns against them. Broken heart, blacklisted, rejected, forgotten. The rumors spread like wildfire. Kirk and Mendeecees weren't just fired from love and hip-hop. They were being blacklisted from reality TV altogether. Chart-decreasing networks refused to touch them. Chart-decreasing producers stopped returning their calls. Chart-decreasing, their once thriving careers were crumbling. A major producer reportedly said, "This isn't just about a fight anymore. It's about trust. If Kirk and Mendeecees can't control their tempers, how can we trust them on another show? It's a liability." And then came the final blow. Confirmation that the blacklisting was real. A network insider revealed, "We're not touching them. They're too much of a liability. They've made too many enemies, and the last thing we need is another public relations disaster on our hands." Police Starlight Reality TV had shut the door on them. Police Starlight. But if you thought that was the end of Kirk and Mendeecees, you don't know them at all. I'm not going out like this. As days turned into weeks, the harsh truth set in. The industry they had once ruled had moved on without them. Broken heart, their influence was fading. Broken heart, their power was slipping. Broken heart, their legacies were at risk. But here's the thing. Kirk and Mendeecees weren't just going to disappear. They built their reputations from nothing. They clawed their way to the top of reality TV.
And now,
they were about to fight like hell to stay there. Kirk, frustrated and feeling abandoned, wasted no time trying to salvage his career. "I'm not going out like this," he told his closest friends. "I've made my mark on this industry, and I won't let some mistake erase everything I've worked for. I'm going to make sure people know the truth. And if I have to fight for respect, I will." He knew exactly what he had to do next. Fire step 1, take legal action. Kirk immediately reached out to his lawyer. "This isn't just about the fight," he said. "This is about legacy, about respect. They used me for years, and now they want to erase me?
Nah.
That's not happening." Fire step 2, expose the show. Kirk had been a part of love and hip-hop since the beginning. He had seen everything, the secrets, the setups, the manipulation. I built the show. Without me, there is no